Daily Dems doing the work, making noise, and fighting back, day 149. It is still Lizzie Fletcher's week of repping the rep. And today, along with Marilyn Strickland and Jamie Raskin, she reintroduced the Ensuring Women's Right to Reproductive Freedom Act, which would make it a law that you can travel out of state for necessary health care. It passed the House 2 years ago, and 128 of the original co-sponsors have already signed on. Judy Chu has today's Democratic Daily Download. And she announced that along with Lois Frankel, Ayanna Pressley, and Veronica Escobar, she's reintroducing Women's Health Protection Act, which would reverse Dobbs. Of course, the Dems put out today's daily blueprint, and as always, I learned some things I wouldn't know otherwise. Like the Third Way released a new report detailing how many more people would incur medical debt state by state. Patty Murray, Tina Smith, Tammy Baldwin, and Elizabeth Warren hosted the Under Attack Republicans Escalating War on Reproductive Freedom People's Hearing today, with testimonies from reproductive health care providers and those who have been affected by Dobbs. And Hannah interviewed Julia Callahan, who was turned away by Georgia hospitals when she was having a miscarriage. And she was also on the Hill today telling her story. And that's just what I learned. You might get even more out of the Daily Blueprint, so make sure to check it out. Back in April, Emily Randall sent a letter to FEMA demanding answers on the termination of the BRIC program, which helps proactively protect coastal communities from the climate crisis. Well, thanks to that letter, funding for Westport Tsunami Evac Tower was restored. It's almost like the letters do work and aren't pointless. Richie Torres explains the War Powers Act and why he supports it, and brings up a Republican gotcha about Obama before they can. The Senate Budget Committee Dems have put out this post. They're keeping track of which provisions in the big betrayal bill violate the Byrd Rule, and which ones are still being considered to be in violation. Definitely a worthwhile page to keep bookmarked for the next few days. Ron Wyden joined SEIU for their Living Cemetery action at the Capitol to protest the likely deaths caused by the Medicaid cuts in the betrayal bill. Finally, Robert Garcia was named the ranking member on the House Oversight Committee. He is one of our best fighters, and he is incredibly loud. He was the first queer immigrant elected to Congress, and he fights back every single day. Jasmine Crockett would have been great, but we're in good hands with Robert Garcia. If you made it to the end, comment with at least 7 words to help the algorithm. And a dress, because we're mourning the 3rd anniversary of Dobbs, and typically dresses are on hangers. If you watched or read any of these stories, comment with what you learned. And a dodo bird, because a Byrd Rule will hopefully make some, if not all, of these awful provisions extinct. Our voices are our superpower, but only when we use them.